Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Marva Ward, and I'm here today to speak to you about the new Now products that were launched March and April 2016. There are a number of them. We've launched Nature Shield Protective Blend Essential Oil, Organic Sesame Seed Oil, and then a number of larger bottle options for our most popular herbs. Nature Shield. This is a formula, an essential oil formula that was based on a centuries old recipe called Thieves. Thieves was, as the story goes, was a formula that was used by the thieves during the Black Plague so that they could rob from the dead and the dying and protect themselves. They would not catch the Black Plague if they smothered themselves in this formula. The thieves of the day would use a base of vinegar and water, and then the following essential oils: clovebud, eucalyptus, lemon, cinnamon bark, and rosemary. These five essential oils are probably the world's most antibacterial, antiviral, and antibiotic, disinfectant, and the list goes on and on, essential oils. At the time when the thieves would use them, they would rob from the dead and the dying during the Black Plague, and consequently, they would still remain healthy. They would not catch the Black Plague. Once they were caught by the authorities, they were asked to reveal their secret. If they revealed the secret, they would be dealt with leniency. Now think about this. This was in England during the 13th, 14th century, 13th century. And so leniency to them was a little bit different than what we might consider a leniency. However, once they revealed that it was these five essential oils in a formula that they created that protected them, instead of being burnt at the stake, they were hung. And that was the leniency provided. But back to this formula. This is a remarkable formula that we can use today. We certainly don't need to be confronted with a Black Plague, but we're confronted with many, many different types of bacteria and viruses that we're unaware of. And these essential oils have centuries old stories to tell as far as their efficacy as antibacterial. They're designed to protect and shield us from virulent viruses and bacteria. The antibacterial solution can also be used for cleaning the home, using them in diffusers to clean the air and rid the air of bacteria and viruses as well. And of course, you can use it topically with a carrier oil to protect the body or to rid the body of the flu or the cold that you might be suffering with. Clovebud is the first essential oil. The clove tree has been cultivated for a variety of uses for well over 2,000 years. The oil from the clovebud is extracted from the aromatic dried flowered buds. Primary compounds. Now, what makes essential oils so effective is that they have functional groups, and then the functional groups have specific chemical constituents that allow the therapeutic aspect to them. In this particular case, it's a phenylpropane. Phenylpropanes are quite unique, a unique functional group within the essential oil category, and this one is eugenol. It is also a flavonoid, and it's said to be one of the most antioxidants, or one of the most have the highest ORAC, the highest ORAC value of any essential oil, profound antioxidant. However, it's also an antiseptic, an antimicrobial, antiviral. And when you smell clovebud, of course, it's very stimulating and it's very warming. I've given you a URL for an article that speaks to the antimicrobial aspects of clovebud, and it is an article that I sourced from PubMed, and I encourage you to take a look to see for yourself, because it's pretty remarkable at how effective these oils are, and in this particular case, it's antimicrobial action. Eucalyptus oil. Now, this is Eucalyptus radiata. The vast genus of Eucalyptus includes almost 700 species. The Eucalyptus radiata has the exact same principles as Eucalyptus globulus with almost the identical properties, except for Eucalyptus radiata has a pleasant, lovely fragrance, whereas Eucalyptus globulus can be quite aggressive. So used in this formula, it allows you to really enjoy the essence and enjoy the efficacy of it through inhalation. The functional group with Eucalyptus radiata, they're called oxides, and the primary compound is eucalyptol or 1,8-cineol. 1,8-cineol is an antiseptic and antiviral. It's a decongestant and an expectorant as well. And when you smell radiata, you feel very uplifted. It has a beautiful light scent as compared to globulus, but once again, its efficacy and its compounds are primarily the same. I've given you again an article that speaks to the antiseptic antiviral activities of eucalyptus, and once again from PubMed. In this particular format, we're using an organic lemon oil. This is organic lemon oil is basically a cold pressed oil from the outer layer of the peel. It's a powerful traditional lemon fragrance that has been used again for centuries. It's the primary compound or the functional group of your lemon oil. The functional group is monoterpenes. That's the primary functional group, and the primary compound is limonene. Limonene is antimicrobial, antiseptic, a bacterial side, substantial antimicrobial activity against gram-positive bacteria and yeasts. And once again, I've given you a URL at the bottom of this slide that from PubMed. It's a study that was done to support this claim. And as far as the fragrance, very uplifting. Lemon oil makes, if you're feeling a little bit blue, just a beautiful smell of lemon oil will be profoundly uplifting. And lemon oil also helps with focus as well. Cinnamon bark is another one of those oils that comes from the functional group that's relatively rare, the phenylpropanoids. In this case, the primary compound is cinnamaldehyde, and it's antimicrobial, antiviral, antiparasitic, digestive, and it has also a very strong calming effect. I've posted a URL at the bottom of this slide as well, again to support all of these oils' antimicrobial action, and in this case the cinnamon bark. It's made from the bark of several related topical evergreen trees in the Lauraceae family, and it's distilled from the barks, the stem, and the leaves of the trees. Profoundly antibacterial and antiviral, and as well as a number of other components. It's an analgesic. It helps with pain, and the list goes on and on. Remarkable oil, cinnamon bark oil. Rosemary oil is derived from the Latin rosmarinarius, or sea dew. In the Middle Ages, it was used to ward off evil spirits, and it was used as a protective against the plague, as I'd mentioned earlier in this particular formula. Historically, it was burnt in French hospitals during epidemics, and no wonder, because of its profound astringent and antibacterial activities. Once again, I've provided you with a study done that was published in PubMed, and again to support its efficacy as an antimicrobial. The primary functional group, monoterpenes, oxide, and ketones. This is a perfect example of a plant that has numerous functional groups with numerous chemical constituents from those functional groups, making it having a wide range of efficacy on many different levels. So Nature's Shield is 100% pure essential oil formula, protective essential oil blend, sweet and invigorating and uplifting and energizing. It's ideal for freshening and cleansing. Now, this can be topical, used with a carrier oil. And because of the concentrations of cinnamon bark and clove, if you were using this as for a topical application, it would be in very low dilutions. I would recommend probably no more than a 1% solution, which would mean 6 drops in 30 mils of carrier oil or 2 tablespoons of carrier oil. As mentioned at the very beginning of this presentation, this compares to the thieves' oil of the Middle Ages or Dark Ages. Now, this really does answer the demand, but we have received for several years requests for a formula like this from both the retailer and the consumer. There are 5 antibacterial essential oils in one formula, profoundly cost effective, multiple uses, and a safe option to alternative cleaners, antibacterial and disinfectant agents. Just the answer to all of our demands for an antibacterial agent that is also very safe. This is a 30 ml size. Certainly a cost advantage for the retailer and the consumer, but I think most of all, these are 100% pure essential oils, and Now Foods goes to every possible length that it can to ensure that we have the best testing, the most thorough testing. Proof of purity is based on probably 6 or 7 different types of testing. Testing capacities such as gas chromatography, infrared. There's light spectrum analysis as well, and gravity. All of this can be seen on our website when you're looking at the individual essential oil. It's very easy to see the results from all of these tests and really at your fingertips to be able to see the results of them. But this gives you the confidence that all of our essential oils are 100% unadulterated essential oils. Sesame seed oil, a lovelier carrier oil, another carrier oil that we've launched. Sesame seed oil has been used medicinally for centuries. Again, in Ayurvedic medicine, it is a staple. It's rich in fatty acids, oleic, palmatic, stearic, and linoleic, moisturizing, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, rich in vitamin A and E. Very high levels of sesamol. It's an antioxidant, protecting against free radicals and skin damage. And this is why it's said to be anti-aging, because it is an anti-inflammatory and an antioxidant. Sesame seed oil has a component of antifungal as well, so it will preserve other oils that you might mix with it. So if you're creating a carrier oil for your essential oils, you may add sesame oil with almond oil, and it will give an antifungal component now to the entire formula, simply because of the presence of sesame seed oil. It's an exceptional massage oil, high viscosity, deep skin penetration, and really helps with circulation, supports skin detoxification as well. If we think about sesame oil in Ayurvedic medicine, we think about pulling, and how if you rinse the mouth for a period of I think it's at least 15 minutes, swishing sesame oil around in your mouth, it has a profound detoxification effect by pulling bacteria not only from the mouth but from the bloodstream as well. And then once you remove the oil from your mouth and rinse your mouth out, you've done a cleansing, certainly for the teeth and the gums and the mouth, but also for the body as well. Now, our organic sesame seed oil is an unrefined certified organic by the European designation as well as the USDA. Multiple uses, and as this is a cosmetic in a cosmetic bottle, all of our carrier oils, although we are marketing them as a cosmetic formula, they are all said to be food grade. Multiple uses: massage oil, carrier oil with essential oil, it's expeller pressed, hexane free. All of our carrier oils have a UV protectant on the outside of the bottle. It's a coating on the outside of the bottle to protect the oils from ultraviolet rays. The bottles, of course, are BPA free as well. We're offering an organic option for sesame seed oil, and this really does answer the demand. Organic is becoming more and more important to people, particularly when using cosmetics on the skin, and so this is simply answering a consumer demand. Compared to jojoba in the absorbability and the function, and it's just a little bit more affordable than your jojoba oil. The competitive edge is that there's really minimal competition in the organic format, and the competition that there is out there, we are priced lower and more competitively priced. So now we'll bring into this presentation all of the larger format bottles of particularly herbs that I'll be speaking to you about today. The first one is curcumin. Curcumin is a major bioactive component that's found in turmeric. It's a plant that belongs to the ginger family, and I'm going to speak about ginger as well. But for now, with curcumin, it's recommended by traditional Ayurvedic herbalists for thousands of years. But I think what's most interesting about curcumin is that it really has sparked the scientific and medical community as far as research is concerned. It's the most extensively researched herb that is available, and modern science is really embracing it for its biological activities. Anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-carcinogenic. It is an anti-thrombotic, pardon me, and it helps with blood thinning, and it will reduce blood clot activity. Cardiovascular protective, the list goes on, simply because of its profound anti-inflammatory aspect and its antioxidant aspect. We have several different types of curcumin, but the curcumin where we have now launched it in a larger cap format, it's the 665 milligram complex of the curcumin 95. It is your standard curcumin, but at a double strength as far as milligram per capsule is concerned. It's our health claim is the antioxidant for the maintenance of good health. It is 100% turmeric root extract. It's standardized to a minimum of 95% curcuminoids, as I had mentioned, a curcumin 95, but at 630 milligrams. It's one capsule 2 times daily with food. 120 VCAPs versus our 60 VCAP, our previous 60 VCAP, or the optional 60 VCAP. So the reason for launching this is past sales warrant a larger bottle. This answers the consumer's need to be able to pick up the curcumin and have it last for a little bit longer, being in the 120 format. Superior potency supports possible superiority of efficacy as well. For many individuals, the curcumin 95 is absolutely fine as far as inflammatory efficacy and certainly its benefits as an antioxidant. In the VCAT formula, this allows it to be suitable for vegetarians and vegans as well. Best dosage per dollar value with the Now brand, and it's the highest potency per capsule as well in the curcumin 95. Dandelion root, traditional Chinese medicine. Active ingredients are the phytosterols, carcinoids, fatty acids, and flavonoids. Dandelion root is specific for liver support, absolutely, but it has a number of other components to it as well. But it works as an antioxidant protectant against hepatic disorders. And again, giving you some proof for a lot of these statements is a PubMed study that I have given a URL to on this slide. Gallbladder support. Neurenic acid that is found in dandelion root supports bile production, stimulates bile production. So individuals with sluggish gallbladders, or even issues with gallbladder, any type of gallbladder issue, it helps with production and helps to transport the bile and toxins out of the body. We could certainly spend time, although we don't have enough of it, to even talk about the benefits of that. So dandelion root periodically to support bile and gallbladder support. For many of us, the gallbladder is problematic and bile production is problematic. So this is periodically, dandelion root is a fantastic supplement. For diabetics, it's shown to lower blood sugar levels, and in Europe it's used to treat type 1 and type 2 diabetes, specifically because of its blood sugar regulation. Anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, giving you overall immunity. The humble dandelion is profoundly effective and supportive. So the dandelion root, it's 250 VCAPs. It's the health claim is traditional use to increase bile flow. Digestive support production, supports liver and kidney function. It's 500 milligram VCAPs, 6 VCAPs 3 times a day, because this is not a standardized, it's simply the whole root, and it is this is why you're looking at relatively higher amounts for the efficacy that you're looking for bile production and for liver support. It's a VCAP format. Again, it has the larger size offers the best dosage per dollar, and it's the largest quantity per bottle as well on the market. Fenugreek. Fenugreek is one of the oldest traditional therapeutic herbs. It originates from Greece, Egypt, and China. It really is heterogenic. It does a number of different things that most people don't even think about when they're looking at fenugreek. Typically, we look at fenugreek for its milk production post-delivery, that it helps with the production of milk for the nursing mom. And this is usually in conjunction with blessed thistle, but it's also effective for gastritis, constipation, loss of appetite, and kidney ailments, hernia, erectile dysfunction, blood sugar regulation, and there is a lot of data that supports this as well with fenugreek. But I know that typically we're thinking about fenugreek for nursing moms who are looking to increase their milk production. Traditionally used as a lactagogue, which of course promotes the milk production, and fenugreek is the seed, 500 milligram VCAPs, 2 capsules 1 to 3 times daily. 500 milligram in 1 VCAP, typically my understanding is that it's 3,000 milligrams per day of fenugreek, along with blessed thistle in 3,000 milligrams as well. That really is the key in getting that milk production at its peak. So that would be 2 capsules 3 times a day. A big demand for fenugreek, one of our best-selling herbs, and in the VCAP formula, it is suitable for all individuals. Higher dosage per dollar value in the category and of this SKU with our competitors. Faux tea. I love to talk about faux tea because when you take a look at traditional herbalists or even Chinese herbalists, the history behind this root is phenomenal. It However, there hasn't been a lot of current studies that can support this historical or anecdotal information. It is Fo Ti, or Ho Shu Wu, is an adaptogen. It's a tonifier, a powerful longevity herb. And when anyone speaks about Fo Ti, that's what they speak of, is the stories behind the longevity aspect and how people lived to 200 years old, etc., back thousands of years ago in ancient China. It's the alkaloid and lectin content that are said to be the effective components. There's a lot of this that I'm going to speak about in this presentation is primarily anecdotal, but there's support for endocrine, nerve repair, and I've given you a full list of historical and anecdotal comments about it as far as constipation, atherosclerosis, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and the list goes on and on. But I think the take home with this particular herb is that it is an all in all tonifier and adaptogen. It's 560 milligrams per VCAP, 6 VCAPs 3 times daily. Now, it's interesting to note that the dosing, it is said that when you take Fo Ti, that it can take your gray hair and turn it back to its natural color. And again, due to the chemical constituents that is in Fo Ti, but also because of its adaptogenic quality. It's shown to there are studies that have there are a few studies out there that show its anti-aging capacity, and I certainly encourage you to seek it out. I have, if you're interested, please email me, marva.ward@puresource.ca. I'll be happy to give you some information and send you some of the studies that I found for its longevity claim as well. Past sales warrant the launch of a larger size, again in a VCAP format. We're the only supplier for this product in Canada, as far as I know, and so consequently, it would be the best priced on the market, because I do believe we're the only supplier at this time. Ginger root, a really exciting herb to research, and it's certainly an herb that is being researched more and more by the scientific community as well. Originated in South Asia, its main active ingredients or active components are gingerol and shogal. Multiple health benefits: anti-inflammatory, analgesic, and just recently more and more studies to show its efficacy for blood sugar regulation. As a digestive tonic, we think about ginger root as a digestive tonic. It helps with nausea, bloating, heartburn. It calms the digestive tract. It aids in the digestion of dietary fats as well. And it has various doses of ginger. There was a study that was done, individuals starting chemotherapy, because it's interesting to note that ginger root in many different forms can be a profound anti-nausea agent, even more so than some of the pharmaceuticals. And in this case, it was prior to starting chemotherapy treatment. It helped to reduce the severity of nausea while on chemo. And they also studied varying doses as well. An interesting article on PubMed, and I've given you the URL. But interesting of its powerful anti-diabetic properties, study was done in 2015 with 41 participants with type 2 diabetes, and they were given 2 grams of ginger powder per day, and it lowered their fasting blood sugar by 12%. And there was also some studies done with glycinated hemoglobin, which is a huge problem in individuals with diabetes. It is basically a sugared protein in the blood that creates a lot of havoc, and it shows long-term blood sugar levels in the blood. It showed with using the same amount of ginger, 2 grams per day, that there was a 10% reduction of this glycinated hemoglobin. Pretty remarkable, and certainly worthy of some more studies. And ginger, of course, to top it off, helps to maintain healthy gut flora. It promotes the population of good bacteria. Ginger root is traditionally used for digestive upsets and disturbances. 550 milligrams per VCAP. If we're thinking about any of the blood sugar regulation aspects of it, 2 grams, it would simply be 4 capsules per day, or two VCAPs 2 times daily, and you take it with meals, particularly for digestion. But if you could also take it in between meals, although ginger is pretty strong, it may irritate the tummy. It's if you're looking for blood sugar regulations, either way would work. This is the whole root. It's not standardized, so all of the nutritive components are intact in its natural state, and I think that's one of our major competitive edges. It is pure ginger. It's the highest dosage per dollar, and it again in a VCAP format for all individuals, suitable for all individuals. Golden seal, another one of my favorite herbs as far as its antibacterial and antiviral aspects. It is the actives. There are a number of different actives in golden seal, as you can see: calcium, iron, magnesium, nutritive actives. But there's also isoquinolines, which are alkaloids, and there's a number of them. And so when you're seeing studies done with golden seal, often they will pick out 1 or 2. Hydrostein or berberine, you hear a lot about, and all of them obviously play a key role in its efficacy. Traces of essential oils, fatty oils and resins as well. Multiple benefits. It's an antibiotic, anti-inflammatory, astringent. We typically know golden seal as profoundly effective as an antiviral or antibacterial because of its astringent qualities. It's the alkaloids that are said to be antibiotic and anti-infective and immune-stimulating qualities. Berberine, being one of them, is responsible for the effectiveness against bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and streptococci. It promotes easier removal of the bacteria by inhibiting its ability to adhere to tissue surfaces. Traditionally, golden seal has been used to alleviate infectious and inflammatory conditions, and also digestive help as well. 1 to 2 VCAPs 3 times daily, 500 milligram VCAP. Past sales, of course, this is one of our most popular as well, in a VCAP formula, making it suitable for all individuals. Greatest dosage per dollar value. Sol palmetto, and that is absolutely a very popular herb of ours as well, thus the reason for providing it in a larger bottle format. It's the fruit from the Cernoa repens, and it is the fruit. Naturally rich in bioflavonoids and sterols. It's European and American medical practitioners have been using this for over 200 years, particularly for urinary tract for both men and women. But for men, we look at Sol palmetto. It's a very, very potent hormone modulating component to it. It blocks the conversion of testosterone to DHT, and it is DHT that is synthesized from testosterone, and it is said to be the primary culprit for hair loss, etc. This conversion takes place in the prostate, in the testes, and in hair follicles, and so it's sort of understandable why there might be this correlation between male pattern baldness and the DHT conversion, or the testosterone conversion to DHT. However, there's other problems that are associated with it as well. It's associated with enlarged prostate, or BHP, benign prostate hyperplasia. This is something that occurs in men as part of the aging process to one degree or another. 50% of men over the age of 60 are said to have some form of enlarged prostate. My understanding that it's 90% of men over the age of 80 are said to have some form of prostate enlargement, and it hinders urinary function. It simply stops urinary flow because it pushes against the urethra. Saul palmetto in studies have shown that in 160 milligram soft gel, which is a double strength, 320 milligrams daily seems to be the key amount, or the very effective amount that's needed to really help support prostate health, and also to reduce the size of the prostate. Ours is 160 milligrams per soft gel, so one soft gel 2 times daily, or 2 soft gels at one time with meals. 320 milligrams. In total. So, of course, past sales warranted. There says on the slide, it says a VCAP format. It is not a VCAP format. It is in a gel format, and it is a double potency. Really, it is the being compliant with the amount that is shown in studies to be effective in helping ultimately lower DHT, and then to ultimately help to shrink the prostate. Greatest dosage per dollar value on the market. Slippery elm, another very popular herb. It's native to North America, a demulcent, an emollient, an expectorant, a diuretic, a nutritive. The list goes on and on. Slippery elm offers us a great deal of efficacy. It's a mucilaginous herb when taken internally. It coats and soothes the intestinal tract. It absorbs toxins. It's a very effective fiber, an anti-inflammatory, as it works its way through the digestive tract. It's multiple benefits for multiple digestive issues. And I think that if we just take a look at the fact that, number one, it absorbs toxins, number two, it coats and soothes and coats the entire intestinal tract, and it's also an anti-inflammatory. It's going to, all of your itises, any of your inflammatory illnesses throughout the digestive tract, the small and large intestine, it's going to be very effective as a protective. Historically, in herbal medicine, it's used. It could also be used as a salve, a healing salve, and for poultices or wounds, boils, ulcers, reducing pain and inflammation. And it's also been noted that slippery elm during times of famine has been used as a very effective simple food. When there's nothing else to eat, slippery elm bark is something that is nutritive and also is an anti-inflammatory and is going to keep you from starving to death as well. Our slippery elm, 250 VCAP, again, the health claim is that it's traditionally used as a demulcent to soothe irritation of the stomach and relieve diarrhea and gastritis. 400 milligrams per VCAP, 2 capsules 3 times daily with water. You would take this on an empty stomach as well. So, of course, it It certainly does warrant a larger format because of its popularity. It's in a VCAP again, suitable for vegans and vegetarians. A greater dosage per dollar and the highest dosage per capsule as compared with our competitor. Valerian root, century-old herb, used in many cultures for sleep, for calming you down, and the chillax pill. The actives, there's a number of different actives. Valerianic acid, lignans, GABA. It is said to be it works in conjunction with GABA. It's a benzodiazepine. It has the same effect in the brain. And there's also flavonoids and monoterpenes and sesquiterpenes if you're thinking of essential oils. As I say, it's a benzodiazepine binding site, lignin, that promotes relaxation and sleep, and we certainly know that GABA does that as well. It binds to GABA receptors, and it promotes and increases the life of GABA in the brain. Now, traditionally used as a sleep aid or a mild sedative, it is 500 milligram per VCAP, 4 VCAPs 1 to 3 times daily. Typically, valerian root is used as a sleep agent, and in this case, if you were using it as a mild sedative agent or to calm down, then perhaps you would be using it throughout the day. One thing that I'd like to say about herbs, when you're taking herbs for efficacy, you take them on an empty stomach. However, if the herbs have a component of irritant as far as the stomach is concerned, like curcumin or ginger, it certainly can be taken with food as well. Also, particular herbs like valerian root, it's a good thing if you're looking for something to calm you down. Valerian root might be something you would use for a bottle or so, but then you'd like to switch it out and balance it with another herb. You might go to passion flower or try something else, simply to ensure the herb's efficacy for long term. You don't want to be taking it for 8 months, etc. And typically one wouldn't, but it's just one cautionary note with herbs. It is a great thing to do with herbs to ensure efficacy is to cycle different herbs. So valerian root may be for one bottle, and then, as I say, you might go to passion flower, something similar for your next round of herb. So valerian root is in a VCAP formula, suitable for all individuals, greatest dosage per dollar value. Black cherry, I believe this is the last product I'll speak to you about today. And black cherry, it has a high melatonin content. So often people will use black cherry juice as a sleep aid. High in vitamins and minerals, vitamin A, C, folic acid, B6, potassium, calcium, copper, the list goes on and on. Rich in flavonoids, lignans, anthocyanidins, polyphenols, and sterols. It's a potent antioxidant and a potent anti-inflammatory, and particularly people are using black cherry for uric acid levels, because it promotes healthy pH by maintaining healthy uric acid levels. So for individuals with gout, black cherry in a capsule and juice form is often a go-to. Now, black cherry and tart cherry are different. However, and some people maintain that tart cherry is more effective. When you're looking at the concentration of this, it's if you think about the standardization 10 to 1, that means that it is 10 times more potent than it in its natural state in a juice format. Whether you're taking black cherry or tart cherry, they're both going to be effective in the relief of gout. And in this case, with the black cherry capsules, this would be profoundly effective because it's 10 times more potent than that of the constituents in a juice form. 750 milligram per VCAP, 2 VCAPs 1 to 3 times daily. Now again, I believe there's little or no competition in the industry right now with black cherry capsules, and it is so popular, so it is obviously very, very effective. We have had a very long history with this product and its efficacy, certainly answering the need of the consumer with this product. Just a last comment again on our continuing education programs for the Now Retailer. Now Productology is a Now University program that's specific for Now retailers. 60-minute training sessions on a variety of different health topics, everything from categories like amino acids, sweetening categories, to specifics like xylitol. It is free to all Now retailers. So if you'd like to register, it's the first URL that's on this slide, nowuniversity.litmos.com/self sign up. You fill in the required information. Your code that they're asking for is PS100. You'll receive several emails. And when you want ongoing access to your courses to continue to take the courses, it's the last URL at nowuniversity.litmos.com. I thank you so much for attending this presentation today, and I wish you a pleasant day.